boy who had trapped us the first time. The morning after we returned from our escape, the fighters called us to the market square and announced that the boy Ahmed had helped them in their work for God. They said, "He informed us that you wanted to flee." The boy from that point onward was invulnerable. Ahmed was powerful, even though he didn't carry a gun. He strutted around the village, went anywhere he wanted, and no one dared to stop him. He reported everything to the militants. The boy said, "I'm not afraid of soldiers anymore. I work for God now." He made sure we observed the new rules, that we wore the hijab, that we did not leave home without a veiled face. If the boy saw someone without a veil, he said nothing, just kept walking. But the next day during Quran lessons at the market square, you'd be beaten out in the open. This is how they doled out the beatings. If you broke a rule for the first time, you'd be warned but not beaten. If you broke the rule a second time, they still didn't whip you. The third time, they whipped you 3 times. For the 4th violation, they did not beat you, and also not for the 5th. If caught in a violation for the 6th time, they whipped you 6 times. And that's how they kept counting. The morning after Ahmed had betrayed us, they whipped every girl my age 10 times. Women the age of my mother they beat 15 times. Children younger than I, they whipped 5 times. Children under 4, they did not beat at all. That is law under Boko Haram. When it was my turn, they blindfolded me. They held my arm. I had to open my hand. They gave me 5 lashes with a stick on one hand and 5 on the other. When they realize you are about to cry, they don't strike so hard. Boko Haram wants to create a caliphate with a sword. For the most part, their caliphate is a vague concept that is best put into focus by considering the villages they have held for some time. Almost inevitably, their rule begins with murder. The fighters kill those who might pose a danger to them. Young men who worked for security forces or refused to join Boko Haram. They kill clerics who contradict their interpretation of Islam. Soon after that, they choose an emir to govern the village and surrounding areas. How much this emir intervenes in the everyday lives of the village varies from place to place. In some villages, it seems the emir just wants to look after his soldiers, leaving civilian life for the most part untouched. In other places, the emirs establish courts that settle disputes, implement Sharia law, and distribute food and medicine. In most cases, the emir comes from the village he governs. The emirs have also changed place names. For example, Gwoza, the group's capital, is now Durul Hikmah, home of wisdom. The new bosses take the houses of the old bosses, commandeer the villas of the rich, and turn them into their headquarters. They live from that which they plunder in their newly conquered realm. On the first day after taking a village or area, Boko Haram leaders gather all the people together who have not fled or been killed. In a central square, the emir lays down the new laws, according to which, for example, the purchase and consumption of cigarettes are declared against Islam and forbidden. Drugs of any kind are prohibited. Men are commanded to grow their hair and beards. A new dress code is announced: white trousers, which are not to touch the ground, for men, and full body covering for the women. The village markets are reorganized. Boko Haram forbids middlemen. The producer is allowed to sell only directly to the consumer to buy only directly from the producer. The movement of women beyond the village is restricted. Even men need to acquire passes from the emir to make trips between villages. Since women don't work, indeed they are all but shackled to house and home, and since most men, those who have not fled or been killed, are forced to fight with Boko Haram,